What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome to a good new episode of the Lucky Underdogs podcast, man. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is the Lucky Underdogs podcast brought to you by the Good People That Believe Network, Valley Sports in Ohio, and Good Men Productions. It's me, your boy DB, in the place to be. I got my dogs with me. I got my dog.
We've been gone for a couple of weeks. We got to get the intro back right. But no, the boys TJ back in the building. Lucky Underdog podcast, where we showcasing all the underdogs, the guys who don't get the highlights, don't get all the playing time, don't get all the media coverage, but when they get out on the field, they make the most out of their opportunities. And so we got a special guest this week, Bodie Kahoun.
Kahoun.
I think the student section will like that one. Kahoun.
Oh yeah, the fans. They're definitely gonna be screaming that. You can already know that's gonna be one of those drinks, man.
So we're proud to have you on today. It's a pleasure. Got another VA kid, so happy to have you, man. Happy to have you.
Thanks for having
me. Yes, sir. And for those that might not know, Bodie is a 3-star linebacker prospect signed to Notre Dame out of Patrick Henry High School in Roanoke, VA. 2 up, 2 down. I'm surrounded by them country boys, man. That's crazy, dog. So DC is close to VA, you know what I mean? But we don't seem as y'all make it seem like it's real southern. You know what I'm saying? Virginia is definitely, throwing hay bales around and stuff like that. I don't know if that's necessarily what you was getting into. I don't know if you grew up, on the farm or nothing like that. Nah, that's not you. all right. Respect. I dig it.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. So let's start with how your recruiting process started.
Virginia Tech, about 45 minutes away from my house, and that was my first one. I didn't expect it at all, and a phone call came, and I was freaking out and stuff, but I was very thankful for them. They were one of my top choices, but my last couple of offers, I kind of settled down, and I picked Notre Dame because especially on the last visit, and it was a spring game, and I got much attention there. I loved it, and then I sat down with Coach Golden, and he told me he wanted to coach me, and I was like, "You're like the first big guy that has like told me that you want to coach me, and no one else," and that stuck with me deep, and I couldn't say no to him.
No, for sure. That's beautiful right there, man. Definitely.
That's actually dope.
That's dope to see. Yeah, that's dope to hear that you got that hometown offer first, and then being able to go to Notre Dame and hearing that they want you to. So hearing that they want you at home, and also hearing that they want you on the biggest stage, I know that's a great feeling right there.
Great feeling. It's actually, I lived in Indiana for 10 years before I moved down to Virginia.
Oh wow.
Okay. What part of Indiana?
Right out of Indianapolis, Zionsville.
Oh yeah. I know about Zionsville. I think that's not where Turner was at, but we had a couple of teammates that was out in Zionsville. We had a couple of teammates that was out there. Yeah. You gonna put your hat down, CJ? Okay, all right. Anyway, Zionsville definitely. Yeah. Zionsville was definitely a good time. So when you said you lived there for 10 years, when did you move to Virginia from Indy?
I moved down here in 2015 in June, and actually I never really played football before, and I kind of got down here, and I had a buddy introduce me to the sport, and I fell in love with it pretty quick, and I played lacrosse and football there and then I chose football because I had way more fun playing it for sure.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to hit somebody in lacrosse. I mean, in football than lacrosse. It's a lot easier to get a little more physical.
Yeah.
For it. So I guess that brings us to our next question. Like, so I guess you were committed. Were you committed to Ohio State to play lacrosse?
Yes,
and
sir.
Then you flipped to Notre Dame. So how was that decision made? So you first went to decide on lacrosse, and now you just say I'm going to football. So how was that decision made?
So I've played. My dad played professional lacrosse. My sister's over at Pittsburgh, the ACC. She's playing lacrosse right now. And my little sister, she plays it. Basically, the only one that played is my mom. But I grew up with a stick in my hand. I loved it my whole life, but I couldn't turn it. It was too easy of a choice to switch to football. I'm glad, and I don't have any regrets.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was the recruiter process like? Just to get a little off topic, just because I like to hear different things. I've never really spoken to someone that went through a lacrosse recruiting process. But what was that like? Did it start a little bit earlier in your high school career? Like, what was that kind of like?
So they are very strict. It is you cannot talk to them until your junior year is September 1st. Like it's dead. Can't say a word. But the whole recruiting process, it's 1,000% different. It's like it's because it's the money in football. The football that money brings in stuff is just like you can't have as much cool things for lacrosse. At Ohio, I was committed there. I loved it there, and I still do. But they built a brand new stadium and only holds like 2,000 people. So like you can go over play at Notre Dame and it sells out every game at like 80 something thousand people. It's a beer, and it's hard to turn down a full scholarship because of lacrosse. They don't give out full scholarships either.
Okay, all right, yeah, I definitely dig that, man.
About lacrosse, like we had a couple guys who I think was a Jordan Faison, and then was a Tyler Buckner, who's kind of transitioned over to lacrosse now. So how did playing lacrosse, growing up, did that help you when you transition to playing football? Was it just kind of a natural transition, just the athletic side, or was it you kind of already knew how to move and stuff? Like, did lacrosse really help with that?
I would say lacrosse helps with your hips a lot. It's because you're moving like side to side a lot, where you need to get like you dip under like a block and stuff. Like it's because I don't know if you know too much about, but it's a metal stick and it hurts like hell when you get hit by it. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
so
know a little bit. I know a little bit about little lax.
Yeah, I played a little short stick midi like for like a couple of days in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A couple of days.
a couple of days of athleticism for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I always would say the lacrosse players are definitely some of the best athletes in college sports, just because the movements, the range of movements that it takes on the lacrosse field to get open and to do, just some of the things that you're supposed to do is definitely elite, and it definitely transfers over to football. So I can see that, man. I can definitely see that.
Of course, yeah.
And all right, so I got another question for you. So, Notre Dame is definitely a great institution, and I've read, some of your interviews, and I've seen some of your clips where you speak on, how excited you are to get on the campus. So, what are some of your early goals that you would say that you're setting for yourself? Well, within your first year or two on campus, nothing too in depth or anything. Just what are some personal things that you really want to make sure that you accomplish, both on the field and off the field?
I feel like my biggest goal is to get a good chemistry with everyone there on campus, especially my teammates, my brothers, and all that. It's because I feel like if you don't have a good chemistry, you don't have a good friendship and brotherhood, you're not going to be good, and you're going away from your hometown. No, you're not most likely no one's from your hometown to the school where I'm going, and I got to the whole there's not you got the whole new life. I want to start off and obviously be myself, but I want to be able to fit in and have fun, but also get the work done and stuff.
That was a great answer, man. That was definitely a great answer. That was a real mature answer. Like, that's definitely not something I had in my mind when I was going in. Like, I was definitely just like, hey, man, I'm trying to, I want a single digit number. I want to make sure I play X amount of games. No, that's a mature answer. And I can see now why you're the right kind of guy to be at Notre Dame, man. And there's definitely a long legacy of Notre Dame linebackers that are elite on the field and off the field. And from what I've seen so far, I definitely think you're taking those steps, man, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You gotta just keep on that path, keep that mindset. Like you said, you're gonna go up there. Yeah, I mean, your roommate might be. I mean, your roommate gonna be a random student from Germany. Like you might not.
That freshman year, yeah, buddy.
So you might get whoever, and then for summertime you'll have some one of your teammates, but he might be from a whole nother. He might be from Jersey, he might be from Cali. Who knows? And
might be from Hawaii.
Might be from Hawaii.
No, he might be from Hawaii.
That's the great thing about Notre Dame too. Like, everybody is from different places. Like, I mean, even me and Dev, we we probably were the closest people as like far as like you know how like where we were from wise. You know, I'm from DC.
Yeah, geography.
Yeah, geography wise. So everybody else is from every different state. So man, that's definitely one of the great things, and you just kind of you embracing that and embracing everybody, every student, all the students in Notre Dame, because you don't know what what they can become. Like they'll be doctors, lawyers, investment bankers, like everybody you meet in Notre Dame, they're gonna turn into somebody like it's gonna be important someday. So just keep doing that, man, for sure. Keep that mindset.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you watch the NFL games. So Jack Collinsworth, that's that's a man who was in my class at Notre Dame. He came in, and I remember like we was homies freshman year. Still keep in touch with him to this day. And dude is like Emmy nominated or something like that. Like definitely on his way. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Collinsworth family too. You know,
of course.
Shout out
for sure.
Sir.
But yeah, so that's definitely nice to hear, man. Good to hear that you got your head on straight, because there's a lot of dudes that get lost in what college football really can offer, especially with today's climate. You know, with you guys being able to secure financial futures for your families, like it's definitely huge, and it's also important that you don't get too caught up into that, and also still realize that you're there to be, you know, a young man and growing into the ideals that you want to carry on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that was a big part in the decision making, where it's like schools are throwing money at you, but I decided to put that to the side and see. I mean, Notre Dame, you guys know it's one of the best schools in the world, and a degree from there, a job you want in the world. And so I see it's the 4 for 40. It's like you do 4 years there, you get 40 years guaranteed.
And yes, sir.
They might have you being the guy that hosts the recruits next year when you're a freshman. You might be one of them guys that's hosting recruits. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell already, man. Hell yeah, man. All right, I got another one for you. So is there anybody in the NFL or in college that you kind of model your game after, or want to model your game after?
I definitely want to go after, Jack Kaiser.
Yeah, for sure.
So off topic, but my mom's sorority sister's best friend's son is Jack Kaiser.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You talk about the 6 degrees of separation. There it is. Yeah.
That's all irrelevant, but it's just he's a great player, very, very smart. Yeah. He does the right thing. I want to follow his footsteps. Sorry, and he's a great guy overall. Very nice. The first time I met him, I like Drake Bowen a lot. He was very nice to me. Kind of my big when I was up on my OV, and just those two guys stood out the most for sure.
Nice. Yeah, so I definitely dig that. Good old. That's definitely, those are great names to definitely model yourself after. CJ, you got any other questions, or because I can keep firing off?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, coming in, we kind of talked about, a little bit off the field stuff, as far as like, building chemistry, with your teammates and stuff. So, what do you expect, like expectations coming in, as a freshman? Do you expect to play? Do you expect to try to get some type of reps? What do you kind of expect there?
I mean, everyone's goal is to get on the field as fast as you can, but also I want to do it kind of. Obviously, I want to play as much as I can, but there in parts where I could also help out other people. Just because if I know I'm not going to be there, I want to be the best scout team player, or I want to be the special teams player, and then work myself onto the defensive side, where I could possibly like get reps over all the summer and the spring games and practices to get onto the team. Finally, get to like. Actually, my first goal is to make the travel squad. That's my first goal. I feel like that should be everyone's. You don't want to be on.
That's a good one.
But, that's a good one. I didn't think about that, honestly.
That's definitely that was definitely one of my first goals when I came in too. Yeah, that's a good one to have, man. You can definitely go get that, especially by putting forth extreme effort on special teams and everywhere, honestly.
Yes, sir. But this just steps up. I want to definitely be on special teams as fast as I can and work up to defense and get reps, even if it's a couple reps a game, and a couple reps are more than little reps. So,
I mean, and That's a great point, man. Because you're on the Underdog podcast. I don't even think we even explain to you what the Underdog podcast was or what Team Underdog even is.
Man, dang! We look at us. We lacking, bro. We lacking, man.
So
All right, so
basically,
just you give them the rundown. See,
rundown. All right, so it's two sides right here. Let me get my hands in here. We got two sides. We got industry and we got underdog. All right, so when you come in freshman year, you team underdog. You ain't no reps. You just trying to make it on the field. And then once you start doing your thing, you start and the coach is looking out for you. That's when you team industry. You can get a little extra equipment. That's when you team industry.
You know what I mean? Get a little extra rice in your bowl, all kinds of stuff.
So a lot of people, some people start a team underdog and they stay team underdog. Some people start industry, go team underdog. A lot of people go team underdog and go industry. So that's kind of
like that man right there. That man right there is
how it work out for you.
Hall of Fame underdog to team industry man right there is looking at you right there. That's a Hall of Famer from team underdog.
You gotta get it.
You got to, man. CJ redshirted his freshman year, and then a few years after that was in Heisman contention. You know what I mean? So there's never wherever you start, you can always work your way to whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Like there's nothing in the way of you. There's nothing in the way except for yourself. You know what I mean? You're your biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to ask you also, because did a little bit of research. I saw that you play safety for the majority of your career. So I played DB at Notre Dame. CJ started off at DB at Notre Dame. But I know that you're going in as a linebacker.
Sure.
But how do you feel about, your experience at safety, and what do you think that's going to do to help you as a linebacker moving forward?
I feel like the safety is I'm going to say this. I think the cornerbacks and the DBs it's the hardest position. And
for sure.
And it's because you're doing so much with little time, and it's so much with your feet and your mindset, and it's all working together. But I think safety helped me out a lot with my speed and coverages and stuff, and all the way to like learning like where he's gonna break on that certain route to like so I can get there earlier, but like can crash for linebacker, get back there. And I feel like overall it just helps me out with mentally because you see the game because you're so far back at safety. You see everything. At linebacker, you're only at like 5-6 yards, so they get past you pretty quick. But you see it a lot easier at safety for sure. But I definitely like linebacker because it's more action. But yeah.
Okay. Sound like you're trying to get your nose in the mix. Okay, you want to be like getting your helmet dirty
inside the tackles, huh?
I mean, he had 203 tackles, so
I'm about to say, yeah, that's a.
it ain't like he's shy about putting his helmet on the football. So you're gonna have to do that.
Like shoulders be real sore after the game. Just been hitting all game. Hands, shoulders. That's it, man. That's it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, man.
Nah, man, that's definitely dope to hear about. So, last thing before we wrap it up, CJ, you had anything else before you wanted to? Before we hit this last question?
Yeah, I think we're gonna ask the same question probably. Yeah.
All right. So give us the one thing that you could say, if you can tie down to one, or you could do 1 to 3 things that you're most looking forward to about being on campus at Notre Dame.
I'm definitely looking forward to love my family to death, but kind of learning how to like do things by myself. I feel like kind of getting into manhood and stuff. And I feel like it's a big part of life where you got to realize that not everyone's there to do your laundry. Not everyone's there to do your dishes. You got to do it yourself. And you got to pick time out of your day to do that. And my mom's kind of making me do all that right now. And I respect her a whole bunch more now because I realize how hard and time consuming it all is. And, but that just kind of like reaching out, making new friends, like really just that, like the two things. Those are the big things for me: manhood and making new friends and brothers for life.
Nice. Yeah, no, I definitely understand that, man. That independence, being able to test yourself, being able to fend for yourself. Those are all the like the classic things of growing up in manhood in general. So like definitely think you're heading in the right direction. You got the right mindset to be able to go in there to make an impact early and to be able to get everything that you want out of Notre Dame. Because one thing that I will tell you, there's so much that Notre Dame can offer to you that you definitely have to be intentional with seizing it, because there's so many things going on. There's so much stuff going on that it can easily pass you by, and those 3 or 4 to 5 years can go by like that. So definitely be intentional with your time, with your effort, and everything that you do on campus, because it'll definitely pay dividends moving forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I definitely want to touch just on what Devin said. I'm gonna say the same thing. Embrace everything, man. I mean, go when you got time, go. I mean, whenever you got a chance, go sit in the dining hall. Eat with the students, regular students. Go chill at the what's the student center? I forgot. LaFleur. What's the
LaFortune.
LaFortune. Yeah,
LaFortune.
Yeah. Go chill center. Like, bro, embrace it all, because I'm telling you, like, some of the people you'll meet, like, you have no idea like how to help you out, the connections you'll be able to make. Like, it's my best friend, I met him at Notre Dame, and he's the godfather of my son now. So it's like, you just never know the connections you're gonna make. So I would just say, man, it's embrace the whole school, the teachers, like everybody, staff, anybody see there is a special person, and just enjoy it, man. It's gonna be a fun 4 years, however long your time is there. How people in school 8 years now. I'm not saying you're gonna be 8 years, but I'm just saying how long your time is there. Hey, I saw that the other day. I was like, 8 years, dang, that's long.
Bruh, been in school for almost a decade, son. That's
like,
crazy, bruh.
But no, man, embrace it, man. Embrace it. It's a special place. I think I love the Lou Holtz quote. I don't know if you know who Lou Holtz is. I'm sure you do, but he said,
gotta know who Lou Holtz is.
You gotta know,
Notre Dame. That's like a requisite, dog.
You got to know who Lou Holtz is. I mean, you better know who he is going to Notre Dame, but you ain't been there. You can't really explain it. You can't explain it to somebody who hasn't been there. So it's a special place, man. I'm happy that you chose Notre Dame. Welcome to Team Underdog. I hope you graduate real early. Hope you get out of Team Underdog ministry real quick. That's the goal. And we root for you, and we definitely rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
No doubt. Well, all right, everybody. That's all our time. That's another episode of the Lucky Underdogs podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, it's your boy DB.
And it's your boy CJ. We out here.
And peace out from us over here.
Amen.
Peace.